What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so today we're talking about the Tennessee Titans. How will they fare this year? Can we get a healthy season of Marcus Mariota? To be honest, team's really talented. But before we dive in, please hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. Channel's moving in the right direction, and it means a lot to me. If you do that, helps the channel. You know what also helps the channel is the thumbs up. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Helps the channel get discovered, so I do appreciate that. Also, if you're into gaming, you can follow me on Twitch down in the description. Broshmo Gaming. Yeah. Who are we talking about today? That's right, the Tennessee Titans. Marcus Mariota. Will he be healthy? Because this team has had success when Mariota is healthy. Even though Mariota hasn't portrayed that he can be a franchise quarterback. That's why I think this season's make or break for Mariota. So, will he get paid that big money? He's like an injury-prone version of Dak Prescott, except for I think he has more throwing capability. Behind him on the roster, you got Ryan Tannehill, who's just waiting for a second shot. So, I think in an ideal situation, Marcus Mariota, he will be healthy. He will start the whole year. At running back, Derrick Henry. Busted loose last 6 games of the year. I don't know why they don't give him the rock more. I think they will. They will still be using Dion Lewis, but I think a little less frequently now because he was out carrying Henry a lot early in the season. So I don't see that happening. Receiver is stacked with talent. Corey Davis, kind of coming out last year. I think this year will be the true come out year for Corey Davis. I think he will explode on the scene. And then you got it in the slot. Adam Humphries signed a pretty good contract. He is going to be getting some plays along with Tywan Taylor there in the slot. And then I think in an ideal situation, A.J. Brown will be the starter on the other side of Corey Davis. You could also say Tajay Sharp is in that running, but I think ideally you get A.J. Brown, who is a very complete receiver, was actually I think my highest graded receiver in the draft. So you did good getting in the second round. Honestly, let's talk. Like we're gonna get a little bit into their draft picks because they picked extremely well last year. They did a lot of good things in last year's draft. Found talent everywhere. Now Delanie Walker, he was hurt last year. He's like 36. But he still has been playing at a high level. You got Jonnu Smith there too, who's been kind of underwhelming. But with healthy Delanie Walker there, you get one of Mariota's favorite targets. The offensive line looks pretty good. Honestly, Tennessee's always had but over the last few years have always had a very steady, very good offensive line. They've switched some parts here and there. Taylor Lewan is one of the most underrated left tackles in all of football. He's great. He's a leader. He's phenomenal. Picked up Roger Saffold, who played very well last year for the Rams, but he's also like 31-32. Ben Jones has been consistent there at center. Drafted Nate Davis. I think he will get the starting gig eventually, if not right there at the beginning. But I really liked him coming into the draft. Jack Conklin has kind of ever since his rookie year has underperformed, and it's a mixture of him not being healthy either. If he could be healthy, I think he will get that long-term contract that he wants. If not, they'll probably go in another direction. But I do like his ability, you want to say. Honestly, that line, there's not a lot of depth behind these guys. You have, Pamphile, who they grabbed from the Jaguars. They also have Austin Pazitor. He used to actually play with Cleveland early in his career. He's been so-so as well. So you don't got a lot of great depth on the offensive line, but there's so many weapons on this team that this offense, if Mariota stays healthy, even if it's Ryan Tannehill, I think will play extremely well. So let's go ahead. Let's go to the defensive side of things, and let's start with the defensive line here, because you keep hearing if Jurrell Casey just had someone on that line to come help him. And they drafted Jeffrey Simmons in the first round, who probably won't play this season. But you know what? I like that pick. He was a top 10 pick, and they snagged that dude. Only fell because he was hurt. And he's going to be really good when healthy, playing next to Jurrell Casey. So I got Daquan Jones, and I think I put Cameron Wake here kind of on the line, putting his hand down. Just because he's going to get the snaps. They paid him 2 years, like 20-some million, so he's going to see a lot of snaps. I don't think they're going to take time away from Harold Landry, who played very well last year. So I have him. They're playing off the edge there in their 3-4. Wesley Woodyard, I think eventually will be replaced, because Jayon Brown is spectacular. Like, let me reel back on that. He's coming up. He played very well last year, and I can see they drafted David Long out of West Virginia. So I could see Woodyard's time in Tennessee eventually coming, ending in the next season or two. So, but at this point, this front seven looks very good. Our only questions really came with secondary. Like I was saying, this secondary was a little up and down last year. Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler, the New England Cast-Offs, didn't really play too well, but I think they got paid big money. They need to play better, and I think they will. Kevin Byard is just a stinking monster there in the secondary. They signed Kenny Vaccaro to a 4-year deal, I believe. So I expect them to utilize him a little bit more, but honestly, I think and that's why I have Amani Hooker listed at the nickel, because I think he'll eventually replace Vaccaro there at the strong safety, because Hooker, he can play wherever on the field in the secondary. He's very versatile. I liked him a lot coming out of Iowa. Just a very, very good prospect there. You also have Adoree Jackson, who they drafted a few years ago, so he could see some time there in the nickel. So the defense looks very good. Very good. How will that dictate how their schedule plays? Well, let's take a look at the schedule, because the schedule is actually kind of wild, kind of difficult. You start off with Cleveland and Indy in those at the beginning of your schedule. Those are going to be tough games. I don't think Cleveland will be the juggernaut that everyone thinks they will be at the beginning of the year. They'll be getting it together. So honestly, I think this Titan team could go on a run, because they face Jacksonville, who's not bad. Honestly, the Titans play in a very tough division where the Texans are competitive, the Jaguars are competitive. They have a lot of talent on that Jacksonville team, and the Colts are just. But to say they're up and coming, nah, they're here. You need to watch out for them Colts. But facing the Saints, you got games against Kansas City, the Chargers. So it's kind of a tough schedule. Also got the Falcons. I think this is the year. Is Mariota your quarterback or not? Given this schedule, I've predicted them to go 9-7, missing the playoffs by that much. But I think with that record, that's good enough. That should be good enough to indicate whether you are going to stick with or move on from Mariota based on if he plays or how he plays. So that's it for the video. You do all the other stuff with the thumbs and the big red button. Ding, bonk. Hit it up. We're going to be talking more AFC South. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.